What up, YouTube Live? I'm back again. Sorry, I just had dinner, so I think something got stuck in my teeth here. Let me just. All right, so I forgot to announce the winners of Overlord 4K and Ralph Breaks the Internet giveaways earlier with my live stream reactions of the Oscars. My bad. So I'm gonna do that at the end of this live stream review of True Detective season 3 finale. So please remind me, right, if I suddenly lose track of, lose my train of thoughts and I'm like wandering wandering off on a tangent. And it's like, hey, Rama, so who are the winners? We want to know the winners. Let me know, okay? Remind me. I could use remember. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. So I'm becoming like Wayne Hayes, Marshall Ali's character on True Detective. I having this memory lapses thing going on. Let's see. Okay, all right. I've announced that I am now live on my social media. All right, just like with all my episode recaps and my TV reviews, this too contains spoilers. So heads up, spoiler alert! You've been warned. I will be spilling some spoilers. Um, this review is mainly for those of you, my fellow True Detective fans, who have also watched tonight's season 3 finale episode. I'm going to start with the I guess you could call it the filmmaking aspect of this show, because it does look like a movie, as opposed to your regular TV shows. Especially or specifically in particular the part in which in tonight's episode where it's brilliant. I love this part where they Wayne Hayes and his partner Roland West, Marshall Ali and Stephen Dorff, they're in the car, they're driving, and the camera, you see the cinematography kind of weaves in and out and around the car, and it goes inside the car and goes back out again. I love that. And then it does it in a way that it gives you those 3 time periods of Wayne Hayes and Roland West. So the camera would go to certain to this angle, and then you see Wayne Hayes, old man Wayne Hayes, 2015, and then you go, the camera would pan out, and then you see 1980 Wayne Hayes and 1980 Roland West, and then the camera would weave in again towards the back, and then you see Wayne Hayes and Roland West in the 90s, and back again to 2015. I love it. what what a great sequence that was in tonight's episode. It's stunning just to see that the whole thing play out. It was a sight to behold. I'll put it that way. So I want to start out with that. I love that part. That's probably the highlight of tonight's episode. Now, True Detective season 3 finale tonight also feels extra special because this evening, early on, Mahershala Ali won his second Oscar ever for Best Supporting Role in Green Book. So, it's kind of special knowing that that he won Oscar, and then on the same night, it's the season finale of his show. It's kind of like the same as True Detective season 1. I believe that was 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Give me a second here. Let me double check. Yeah, 2014. And that's the same year that Matthew McConaughey won Oscar. And True Detective season 1 starred Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. So that was also special for Matthew McConaughey. And if Green Book hasn't shown you already, or Moonlight hasn't shown you already, True Detective shows you exactly why Mahershala is one of the greatest actors of our time. Um, just throughout this whole season, man, the evolution and the arc of Wayne Hayes would not have worked if it was not played by, or it would not have worked if it had been played by anybody else other than Mahershala Ali. The range that this guy has, I always tell people that TV shows and movies, they live and breathe here in the frame of the actor's facial expressions. And Maharshali has a wide range of showing you those emotions, and and he does it in the most precise way, and very effortlessly. Nothing about it feels manufactured. So yeah, if Moonlight or Green Book hasn't shown you already, go watch True Detective season 3. You'll be like, okay, now I understand why Mahershala is currently one of all time greats. Um, so in tonight's episode, it's finally revealed what happened to Julie Purcell. Now, I admit, I own up whenever I'm wrong. My theory was that I mentioned to you that it's got to be pedophile ring again, just like I guess season one was, and I based that on the fact that last week's episode, the interviewer, the reporter that interviewed or has been interviewing Wayne Hayes, she brought up, you know, Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson's characters from season one. Obviously giving you a sense that this season three exists in that same universe, not separate from. Now, I think that's writer creator Nick Pizzolato's way of kind of throwing you off the scent, if you will. It's like, hey, look that way, and then bam, let me give you a different twist than what you thought. So if that was the case, if that is part of his strategy, kudos to you, Nick. Kudos, because I fell for it. I really did. I thought was, and I mentioned to you this. I thought it was because season two was so forgettable and so disliked by the fans that I thought, oh, maybe Nick Pizzolato is thinking like, well, I don't want to get the same backlash as season two. I guess I'll just rehash the formula, or rehash the mystery that season one had. The season one that got everybody buzzing. Season one was quite something, and so that's what I thought. I thought, just like Star Wars: The Force Awakens, kind of rehash the first Star Wars, after the boring prequels. I thought that's what we're gonna get with season three. But nope. Season three finale tonight revealed that it's more complex than just a pedo ring, and it has to do with the Hoyts. Now, Hoyt, the patriarch, is played by Michael Rooker, whom I adore. I met him at the Belko Experiment. He's the guy who plays Daryl Dixon's brother in The Walking Dead. You may know him also as Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I'm Mary Poppin, y'all. And it's good to see Michael Rooker back on the small screen again, and his interaction with Mahershala Ali's Wayne Hayes in this one is quite noteworthy, because Hoyt, Michael Rooker's character, is rich, powerful, influential. I thought when they go out to the woods that would be the end of Wayne Hayes. Like, I thought that Hoyt was gonna go mobster on him, and I don't know, make Wayne Hayes disappear, or throw him to, or feed him to the fishes, like mobsters would. Or, yeah, pretty much just Jimmy Hoffa Wayne Hayes, But no, that's not what Hoyt does. Um, but the dialogue between the two individuals is so interesting because each of them, they know that the other person carries a secret, um, but neither of them want to kind of show their cards, or involve cops, because then if you involve the law, then both their secrets surface. And at one point, Wayne Hayes half begs Hoyt, like, just tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. And when he says that, I feel like that's us. That's the audience. We, at that moment, we're also yelling with Wayne Hayes, asking Hoyt to just, or asking Nick Pizzolatto, the writer creator, just tell us already what happened. Reveal it. Um, and good things come to those who wait. The revelation happens tonight, and did I see it coming? Not really. Did you see it coming? I mean, did you come? Is it coming a mile away? Did you find the revelation to be predictable in any way, shape, or form? Let me know. But I didn't see it coming. Turns out it's this story about Isabel Hoyt, whose husband and daughter died in a car accident, and then she goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, or she goes one flew over the cuckoo's nest, and she has this idea to pretty much grab and get Julie Purcell, and in the process, she accidentally kills not Tom, Will Purcell, Julie's brother, and then so the one-eyed guy, Junius, I believe that's his name, Junius Watts. He's like Isabel's bodyguard or Isabel's assistant. Isabel's kind of like Bruce Wayne has Alfred, so Junius is like her Alfred, and so that's how Will dies. We get to see it tonight, and throughout the years, Isabel keeps Julie in this pink room, and apparently she also drugs her, so that Julie doesn't really have exact memories of her past. Um, but then she finds herself in the convent, and the nurse, or the nuns, not the nurse, the nuns that live there tell the story to Wayne Hayes and Roland West that Julie has died. So Roland West and Wayne Hayes visit Julie Mary. I think she goes by Julie Mary now. The gravesite, and case closed. Right? No, no, it's never that simple with Nick Pizzolatto. Um, Turns out, the nuns kind of fake Julie's death, and Julie has a daughter now with the guy who runs the landscape for the convent. And here's what's tricky: um, Wayne Hayes comes to expose Julie, right? Comes to Julie's house, but his dementia episode kicks in, and then so we never get to see that encounter for real. I mean, they get to meet, but he never gets to actually, like, hey, you're Julie Purcell. And like, oh, when that happens, like, oh, how convenient, how convenient that dementia kicks in right at that moment. And so now we, the audience, are left like, oh no, oh, he never tells it to her face. Um, but I think that leaving us longing or wondering about what could happen if he did confront her at that garden in front of her house. I think that is a pretty smart move on Nick Pizzolatto's part. Sometimes you don't need a happy ending, but you don't necessarily need a bad ending, or a tragic ending, I should say. just an ending. And I think that's what Nick Pizzolatto gives, an ending in which Julie gets to live happily ever after, and both Wayne Hayes and Roland West could live the remainder of their lives, their old age, with the thought that they've solved the case. So what could be better than that? Um, I think that's the ending that Nick Pizzolatto wants to give you, and I think that's a proper ending. Not a happy, not a tragic one. It's just an ending. Now, I have this on my note on my screen that I want to give you my thought about when right after Mahershala Ali's character Wayne Hayes has that interaction or encounter with Hoyt, played by Michael Rooker. It goes all the way to 2015 again, because that was the 90s. That was the second time period. Excuse me. And then we see old man Wayne Hayes and old man Roland West finally, after all these years, after 25 years, putting the pieces together, putting two and two together. Aha. So that's what happened, right? And they go to the pink room. They find the pink room because by this time the mansion's already abandoned, right? That's 25 years later, right? Because in the 90s the mansion is not abandoned, and that's the same pink room that Tom Purcell enters, and Tom Purcell gets killed by Harrison James because Tom discovers or finds out about that pink room. But this is now 25 years later. It's abandoned. The pink room is all probably full of spider webs, what have you, and and I remember in this scene, Roland West kind of gets pissed off at Wayne Hayes. And I understand that. I understand that because Wayne Hayes tells him, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't rewatched the episode yet. I just watched it once. He said, like, things happen. Like, I have a family to raise. I had a family. Like, yeah, I had that encounter with Hoyt, but I never follow up with it. I never do follow up or like look into furthermore or call you. He never called freaking Roland West after that encounter with Hoyt in the woods. So in a way, Roland West's anger at that moment, old man Roland West, at uh, Wayne Hayes is valid. His anger is valid because they could have solved this 25 years ago if pride didn't get in the way. Pride is Wayne Hayes' biggest sin. We see also in this episode how he chooses not to sign the thing, so he gets relegated to secretary job. And in the 90s, the friction that he has with his partner again after being invited back into the force or major crime to become a detective again. So, and throughout this season too, we keep seeing that pride gets in the way of Wayne Hayes, at least prevents him from time to time from moving forward to actually solving the case. He's a great detective. He would catch hints of this or hints of that every now and then. But then, man, his worst enemy is himself, definitely. So I'm on the side of Roland West when he gets pissed off. Like, really, how fucking convenient. Like, they could have, because right by now, after 25 years, they don't have anybody to actually throw into jail for, or anybody to arrest. Hoyt's dead. Isabel died. She poisoned herself to death. The only person left is Junius Watts. But freaking name, man, what are two old retired cops going to do? By the way, which also makes me wonder when they are questioning people along the way, old man Wayne and old man Roland West. I I see that and I'm like, okay, how come these people that they're questioning, right? These people that they're interrogating, whether in that nursing home or whatever, along the way, how come they never the ask Wayne and Roland like, aren't you guys too old for this? what? Why are you asking me these questions instead of actual cops? Aren't you guys retired? But none of them ever asked that. I guess they all they see is a badge on their waist, and that's more than good enough. Um, so my point is that after 25 years, everybody's already gone except for Junius Watts. Um, and the mansion's abandoned, the pink room is abandoned. So it's like all too late. Uh, the, the reason, the only motivator that they want to get to the bottom of this is that they're gonna die soon. They're old age, so they don't want to go to the grave with this thing unsolved. Um, so I totally get I totally get Roland West upset. I'm on his side on this one. What else do I have here? Oh, am I disappointed that the revelation of what happened is not a pedo ring or something more conspiratorial? Not really. Not really. I think the whole thing with this lunatic, the whole plot with lunatic mother trying to replace his daughter that she lost, it's it's like straight out of a it's like straight out of a Dennis Lehane um creation. Do you know Dennis Lehane? Dennis Lehane is one of my favorite author. Um and he wrote books like, I believe he wrote Mystic River, he wrote Gone Baby Gone, he wrote Shutter Island, which was turned into a movie by Martin Scorsese. So the way the way it happened, it feels like straight out of something that Dennis Lehane would create. It's like from Dennis Lehane's neck of the woods. Let's just put it that way. I'm cool with that. I think it's awesome the way Nick Pizzolatto pretty much, because he's the creator, he's the writer, so he knows exactly. So he goes he, from what happened and then works his way back. That's how he created this whole season 3, because he holds all the cards. He's like, okay, I'm gonna hold on to this and then give you bits and pieces, kind of maybe throw off the scent a little bit by distracting you, like maybe look that way, and voila. um, and also, lastly, on my note, before I announce the winners of the giveaways, I also understand the point of view of Wayne Hayes. Remember, I mentioned to you that I understand Roland West being angry at Wayne Hayes because they could have solved this 25 years ago, and they could have thrown Hoyt or Isabel, anybody responsible, to jail when they were younger and actually had authority. But I get it. I get it. I get also on the side of Wayne Hayes because life does happen. And I think that's what makes Nick Pizzolatto's writing or his story very rich and full and complex, because it's not like your procedural detective shows or other detective shows out there. um, because the relationship dramas of the lead character, in this case Wayne Hayes, does play a significant part, especially his relationship with Elaine, his wife, Amelia, not Elaine, Amelia, does play a part in uh, either disrupting or helping the case. So this is as close to real life detective work or investigative story as you can possibly get. Um, as I mentioned to you many times before, sometimes leads get cold. And so, not until after years later, when probably the DNA database collection gets updated, that the case reopens again. Sometimes that happens out there, and sometimes the detectives, because they're humans, so their personal lives can also, influence um, influence how focused, or influence whether or not they're focused, whether or not their heads are in the game in solving the case. So I get it. I totally get it, because otherwise we would not have a complex and complicated lead character that is Wayne Hayes. So there's a lot of blame to pass around, but ultimately I think it's a great move on Nick Pizzolatto's part, because it results in a very fascinating season three. Um, I I just after I watched tonight's episode, I am left like wanting season four. I'm like, please don't let us wait 3, 4 more years till season four. Okay, don't let this be like freaking Sherlock series starring Benedict Cumberbatch. Just give us season four already, because it's just so damn good. Uh, how each episode is structured and designed in a way that we get to see bits and pieces of the puzzle, but not the whole big picture until the end. And it's done in a way that satisfies you, at least for me. The whole intricacies and the dynamic, not only between the partnership of Wayne Hayes and Roland West, but also, as you see in tonight's episode, the power struggle and the authority, the way the people, the higher ups kind of dictates um, Wayne Hayes, that says a lot as well. And so I think this is probably my favorite or season so far. Season one was groundbreaking, but I like this season three slightly better. And some of it has to do with, of course, Marshala Ali, who is just such a delight to watch. I feel like it's a privilege just watching Maharshali do his thing. And yeah, I love it. Big fan of season three. What a great conclusion. Leaves me wanting more, and I, I I can't say enough to recommend or to praise. If you haven't watched season three of True Detective, please do so on HBO or HBO Go, whichever way you feel convenient. All right. So that's it. That's my long rant. Kind of slow because I'm a little tired. It's been a long evening after the Oscars, and I gave you my reaction there too. So before I go to watch The Walking Dead new episode, let me announce to you the winners of Rama Screen latest giveaways. There are two giveaways. The first one is for Overlord, and this is the Overlord 4K Ultra HD combo pack. And the winner of Rama Screen Overlord 4K Ultra HD combo pack giveaway is, drumroll please. I don't know how to make a drum roll sound. I apologize. And the winner is Dexter Arafiles. That's Dexter Arafiles from Riverside, California. Congratulations, Dexter. And next, last but not least, the winner of Rama's Screen Ralph Breaks the Internet Blu ray Combo Pack giveaway is Marisela Zuniga. Marisela Zuniga from Dallas, Texas. Marisela, congratulations. You are the winner of Rama Screen Ralph Breaks the Internet Blu-ray combo pack giveaway. So thank you so much, Dexter and Maricela, and all of you for participating in in this latest round of giveaways. There'll be more to come. I don't know what it is yet. I'm working with the studios to give you the product, the prize, the Blu-ray, or the digital code. But whatever it is, it's gonna be awesome. So stay tuned. Keep watching this channel and all the videos. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Press that like button, ring that bell so you can get notified. And if you can help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. As always, let's rock this.